Hi, good morning, Rise to Diamond team. Let me adjust this a little bit. Happy Monday, May 6th. So great to be here with you this morning. I have got your questions opened up along with Facebook Live on my phone. So I'll be able to access your questions and hopefully answer them. But when you come on, give me some hearts, write a comment, do something so I know that you're on, and we can get started. And I have a story to tell you this morning too. Unless you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen it, but we had a story happening this morning in my backyard. It was like a nature preserve in my backyard. So when you come on, I need a heart, I need a something, I need something to know, because because once you start doing those comments, then they'll start rolling up, and then as you ask questions, I'll be able to see them as well. But I have to tell you guys about this. It was like National Geographic here at my house this morning at 6:45 a.m. on a Monday morning. So if you follow me on Instagram stories, you may have already seen it. Hold please. But we live in Carmel, Indiana, which I don't consider like a national park, but for whatever reason, sort of where we live, we are in this, it's like a nature preserve. Like we have, I see deer sometimes walking down our street. We have raccoons and possums and a ton of different birds and big loons and owls and you name it, it seems like it's in our backyard. And a few weeks ago, well, it's been a while because Josie was home, we had a possum in our tree out in the backyard, and the dogs were like going crazy over it. And, I felt sorry for it. It was a little baby possum. I should not have felt sorry for it, because now the baby possum has come back. And this morning I came upstairs from being down here in the basement. This is where I work out. Walked upstairs, and when I walk upstairs, my dogs, especially my littlest one, always wants to go outside. So she goes outside as normal, but she takes off like a shot for the backyard. And then Winnie is down off the couch, and she takes off like a shot. And I could see something kind of white in the back, but I couldn't really tell what it was. Is it like trash that got blown in our yard? Was it a rabbit or whatever? Oh no, it was a possum, and cornered in the back corner of our yard. And where the dogs got it cornered, it couldn't go anywhere. So it's like the two dogs and then the possum, and the dogs weren't leaving and the possum couldn't go anywhere. And I am at 6:45 in the morning out in my backyard yelling and screaming and throwing treats at him. And I've got the snow shovel out there, and I've got it trying to get in, and I'm waking up the neighbors. It was like, and I'm yelling at Jesse, like, get up, you have to help me. So if you want some cardio after leg day, just get yourself some dogs and a possum, because it was like, if you would have recorded me, it probably would have made a comedy. Then I'm calling my husband, and then I'm calling animal control, and they're like, you got to call 911. And it was just, she's like, get a baby gate, put the gate between you and the possum and the dogs. And that. Finally, what brought them up, because the possum wasn't moving. The possum couldn't go anywhere. It could not get up. And so the dogs, I think they just finally got tired of barking at it, and the peanut butter was alluring to them, and I managed to bring them in with peanut butter. But it was like 30 minutes of me waking up the entire neighborhood with this possum in my bed. And I'm like, good morning, Monday, everybody get up. So it was something on this Monday morning. But and then they came in, they're all like, the dog's like, what's the big deal? Like in the bathtub. But I will probably have nightmares about that possum, and it was terrible. So I may need to call animal control and see if they can set a trap for it or something, and then catch it and then take it to the actual woods, not to my backyard that it's misinterpreting as the woods, because that's not. But it was crazy this morning. It was definitely a wake-up call on this morning, on this Monday morning. So that is my story for this Monday. I don't know if any of you have had anything quite that exciting happen. I mean, it is tough to beat that story this morning, but I'm awake. I'm awake, and I'm ready to go through some of your questions here on this Monday morning. And thank you so much for showing up and dropping those questions in there yesterday, so that we have a list. And I started going through these questions yesterday and just sort of reading through them and getting some ideas of what topics you all seem to have the most questions on. And if there are And you all know, if you're listening to this, you're watching this live, and you have other questions and you have comments, I need you to be interactive with this. I need you to be on here putting stuff in the comments and asking more questions, asking for clarification, whatever that might be. I need you to be doing that. Don't just let me stand on here and talk, because then there's not as much learning. I need you to be keeping this as interactive as possible. So I'm looking at this piece of my hair that's like, what is happening right now? This is a crazy morning, I'm telling you. So as I'm going through some of these questions and I was looking through them, I'm going to be just blatantly honest with you, mostly because I don't know how else to be. But as I was looking through some of these questions yesterday, it really struck me that no matter how often we tell our coaches, we tell you, or you hear it from Christina, you hear it from Trina, you hear it from Carl, you hear it from your regional manager. It's a hard concept to embrace. And that is the concept of keeping it simple. Because there are a lot of questions on here that you're asking that don't even need to be a question asked until you are diamond and beyond. You're not even diamond yet. That's why you're in this group. And there are questions in here that I'm like, what are we even doing asking this question right now? We're not even diamond. Like, you're emerald with 2 Success Club points. What are we doing asking about this question? Honestly, that's how I felt with some of these. There are some great questions on here. You know, you want to have some personal development suggestions, you know, some follow-up, some inviting, whatever. Yes, awesome. But some of these other questions, I'm like, dude, you're not even diamond yet. What are you doing worrying about that? That's like your child in kindergarten worrying about college applications. No, you might be worrying about saving for college, but you're not worrying about how to fill out a college application when they're in kindergarten. Let's get to that point. So some of these questions, I'm like, we're not even at that point to have this conversation yet. So we don't need to have this conversation yet. You're worrying about stuff and you're asking about stuff instead of doing the stuff right now that's actually going to get you to diamond, which is the point of the group. This is not a group to talk about compensation plan and strategy and placement and all that. That might come later, but the point of the group is to get you to diamond. And we don't need to be talking about compensation and placement and strategy for placement and blah, 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 if you're not even freaking diamond. You're not even adding coaches to your team, and we're talking about placement. How about we add some coaches? How about that? How about we get to diamond and then we worry about placement? All right? How about that? So let's stop worrying about the stuff that doesn't matter, and let's stop spending energy, because that is what's paralyzing you. You're like, let me worry about placement and not worrying about inviting. Stop it. Stop worrying about the stuff that that doesn't even matter right now. The stuff that matters for you right now is this, period. You need to be on a program, following calendar, pressing play, and sharing that every single day. You need to be drinking your Shakeology and talking about that every single day. You need to be rocking some personal development, whether that's, I say reading a book, but I don't care if you're reading to it or listening to it or both or whatever. And I'm saying a book and not just a podcast. I want a book for a common thread. So you got to be fueling your head and your heart with personal development. And you need to be inviting like it's your job, because it is. And that's what you're worrying about every day. And if you're worrying about placement, that's something we can worry about later. But if you don't even have coaches to place, why are we having a conversation about placement? Okay? So I'm going to go through some of these questions. I'm going to pick and choose some that I think are probably the most vital to you right now on Monday, May 6th, this week. Not 3 weeks from now. Right now, Monday, May 6th, where none of you are diamond, let's talk about the questions and the topics that matter to you right now. Suzanne, I see your question, and I'm going to answer these others first. Also, not important yet. Invite. Okay. Okay, Jessica says, what are some questions, topics, and combos you go over with no coaches and they're getting started right call to help them buckle down and get after it? Jessica, that's a great question. Also, I probably should answer some of the questions of the people that are on here live, but I am going to answer Jessica's first. Jessica, that's a great question. And I'm going to direct you back to your upline coach because I'm guessing you have amazing training in your team page about a getting started right call. Also, here's the piece that I always come back to, and it's because I started as a coach and for 8 months did nothing. I did nothing with this business. And I know Trina had some time that she wasn't working the business. I know Christina had some time where she wasn't working the business. And for me, part of that was I walked around going, I don't know what I'm doing as a coach. I don't know what to do. So I think to myself when I'm talking to a new coach, what was it that I asked of myself when I said, I don't know what to do? And then how can I answer that question for every new coach? And what do I want a brand new coach to do? I want a brand new coach to do the same thing that I just told you. I want a brand new coach to be plugging into a program, getting into a challenge group and pressing play every single day and starting to feel those results and starting to feel how that discipline and consistency bleeds over into life. That's number one. I want a new coach drinking Shakeology, hopefully using Energize too, and any other of the performance line. That's number two. Number three, I need a new coach digging into personal development, no question. And number four, I want a brand new coach to make their list. Start making a list. If you just say invite to a brand new coach, they're like, I don't know who to invite. They might, but until they get it down on paper, they don't. So that's what I needed to know as a brand new coach. I needed to know, okay, I got to be doing a program. I got to be drinking Shakeology. That didn't exist then, so it was E&E. And I need to be doing personal development, and I need to be inviting. That's what I needed to know. And any more than that, when a coach is a baby coach, I think is a little much as we're getting them started in their journey. So number one, I'm telling you, Jessica, plug into your upline coaches training because there's no doubt in my mind you've got great training on that in your team page. Number two, ask yourself the question, what did you need to know as a brand new coach? What would have made you feel better? Answer that question for your new coach. I hope that helps. Crystal, you ask what is my go-to personal development? I don't have a go-to personal development. I have personal development that I'm just doing. So currently right now, I almost always am listening to something and reading something. So I am listening to Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass at Making Money right now. And I'm also reading a book by, what is his name? John something. It's called Fearless Leadership. He was a Blue Angel. So I also am reading that. So I read that at night. I listen to other stuff during the day. And there's no go-to PD for me. I simply do personal development. And I don't have okay, I always have to go listen to Rachel Hollis if I'm feeling down. No, that's not how it works for me. What I have to do is listen to personal development, read personal development. If it's not connecting with where I am right now, I put it down, I find something else because there are 8 trillion books in the world and you can find something that resonates for you. Also, the whole, when you are feeling doubt or struggling, I need you to remember that is a moment and not a lifetime. That is a moment. Every single human being on the planet, no matter what job, industry, genre, anything that you are in, has doubts and struggles. Every single one. I have found as I'm watching other people in other genres, industries, jobs, that, and I find it with myself as well, that the piece that gets me out of the doubt and the struggle is action. So if I'm feeling like, man, I'm really struggling with getting my new coaches to hit Success Club, I make sure then that I am scheduling one-on-one Zooms with my new coaches, or I'm going into my new coach little Facebook group that I have, and I'm doing a Facebook Live with them, and I'm talking to my new coaches. So more than personal development, although that is incredibly vital, more than personal development, if I have doubts or struggle, I find taking action helps me overcome that. So the personal development is going to happen. And yes, I want to make sure that it's matched up with what I need at the moment. But I find in the moment, to get out of my doubts and struggles, I need to take action. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay. Brandy, you're on here, so I'm going to answer your question. Where do you cross the line between pushing the sell and pressing too hard? Brandy, feel free to clarify, explain, whatever, or put your comments in here. Don't just watch while I'm talking about this. And then Laura Ashley said, similar question. A few people will say yes, and when the time comes, they either don't answer me or answer me and say they keep getting too busy to fill out the share cart. Okay, so here's the thing, friends. And this is not any different than anything else. This is not any different than anything else. I don't know. This is females getting in females' heads, creating more than what's actually going on. Where do you cross the line between pushing the cell and pressing too hard? When you feel like you're pushing the cell. That's the line. When you feel like you're pushing the cell, you probably are making it about sales. When you come from a place of help, when you come from a place of help, when you come from a place of, I have a solution that can change your life, you are coming from, it is originating from an organic place of help. It's not about a sale. Okay? So when someone says, well, you're in sales, no, I am not. I'm in sharing. I'm in life change. I have the products and programs that can change your life. Brandy, girl, you are smarter than that. You are smarter than that because you are saying you don't want to press too hard and they back off and they feel like that you're pressuring them, except they're already not committed. They're already not committed. It's already a no right now. So you backing off, does that make them say yes? No, they've already not committed. So you saying, girlfriend, listen, this solution can change your life. It has for me. Get in this group. That's not pressuring or selling. That is coming from a place of help and intention. If they're not responding to you, they're already saying no. So what do you have to lose by continuing to come back and asking them again and sharing with them that this can change their life? Are you coming at it from a place of help? Are you coming at it from a place of selling? If you're coming at it from a place of selling, no wonder it feels like that. If you're coming at it from a place of listen, in my heart of hearts, I know this can change your life because it has for me. You can't control how they react to that. You can only control how you come to them. How do you know you're coming from an organic place of help? By making sure you are pressing play every single day and tapping into the results that the programs can give you. I'm pointing here because this is my TB. So this is where my programs are. By tapping into those results that the programs can give you. By drinking your Shakeology every day and feeling the results that Shakeology can give you. By fueling yourself with the right personal development so you know that when people say no to you, often it's about them and not you. And if you are starting with that and coming from there and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you have can change their life, you can't control how they respond. You cannot control how they respond. So this whole, I don't want to press too hard or feel like I'm pressuring them, you've created that. And by you, I don't just mean you, Brandy, I mean the general you. You've created that in your head. In your head. Because no one has told you that you're pressuring them or that you're pushing too hard. No one's told you that. You've just created that because they haven't responded to you. And maybe they haven't responded to you because it's been a really busy week for them. They had a family emergency. They were on vacation. They're traveling. They're looking at it and going, yeah, I want to do this, but I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared. So you're already making a story up for them that might not even be true. As Brene Brown says, there's the story that is in your head. There's the story that's in their head. And there's really the story that's somewhere in between. You are making up a story for them that may not even be true. May not even be true. So you need to stop that. You have to tap into the programs, your shake, your personal development, and know that what you have changes lives. You can't control what anybody else says. Do we think that every single human on this planet can benefit from what we have? Yes. Should we be asking them? Yes. Will they all say yes to us? No, they will not. No, they will not. You know, it's no different than when my husband goes out recruiting. He's recruiting this week. So he'll be kind of in and out this week. He'll be gone all next week. He thinks that what he can offer a young male athlete at Butler is bar none. It's unparalleled. He believes to his bone that if that young male athlete will come play football at Butler, he will get an unbelievable education. He will get an unbelievable football experience. He will walk out of there after 4 years with unbelievable lifelong memories. He believes that. Will every kid he talks to say yes? Absolutely not. Does that affect his passion? Absolutely not. He's going to keep asking. He's been asking for 25 years. He's been recruiting for 25 years. Not every kid is going to say yes. He's not going to stop asking. Not every person you ask is going to say yes. You can't stop asking. It's not your job to decide what the story in their head is or any of that. Your job's to just invite and invite and invite and invite and invite and invite and not make up some story about what's happening in their head. That is a female thing. It truly is. Truly. So your job's to invite. Come from a place of help and invite. Brandy, I hope I answered that question or at least gave you some help with it. This is a great question. How do you plan out your monthly calendar to hit a certain goal? Let's just stop that. How do you plan out your monthly calendar? What do you say in those posts? Okay, Connie, that's a lot in that one question. So we're just going to start with the first one. I do plan out my monthly calendar. And here's what I've learned with social media for me personally. Over the years, when I first started, it was very much Facebook. And you guys, have you ever gone back and looked at some of the stuff you used to post? Maybe you haven't been on Facebook for as long as I have. I was on MySpace and then Facebook. I go back and look at some of those pictures that I posted on Facebook. I'm like, what was I even, this is heinous. What am I even doing? It's not even cute. So lack of thought. But however, social media was whatever, and we could build a business with not a huge amount of intention behind our posts. It's not like that anymore. So those days are gone, and the more intention and thought we put behind our posts, the more confident is the word I'm looking for. Confident we will be in what we're posting. So I think about what I want to post for the week. Now, for the first time ever in my business, I've been doing this 11 years. For the first time ever in my business, I sat down and thought about what I wanted to post for the entire month of May. Why? Because we had a lot of stuff this past weekend. We had something almost every hour. We were super busy last weekend. We have the High School Musical that my daughter is the lead in this week starting. This is show week now. Then she's got senior pictures and stuff after that. Then we have graduation party. I have a ton of stuff in May. That means I might not be as focused in crafting a good post in May. So 2 weeks ago, I sat down and came up with a plan for the month of May so that I could feel confident in what I'm posting. I've never done that before, but I also knew that May would be very busy for me. So I suggest to you, what are your goals? What are you inviting to? Are you inviting to a sneak peek? Are you inviting to a challenge group? Are you inviting to the business? What are you inviting to? Also, what of value do you have to share in your life? Did you find a great buy at Target? Did you find an amazing sports bra that works? Are your shoes fantastic? Do your socks stay up? If you followed me on stories a while ago, I did this whole thing on I just want socks that stay up. And so finally when I found them, I talked about them because people are looking for that too. Do you have a really great foundation that works when you're working out? Whatever it might be, think about what you can offer your followers and what you're inviting to and make a plan for your week. I simply Google searched. Google is the answer. I Google searched social media planner, came up with a template. I downloaded it, copied it. I write down my ideas on that social media planner. So now when I get up on Tuesday morning or when I go to bed on Monday night and I get up on Tuesday morning, I already know what I'm going to be posting because I've taken some time to plan that out. That makes me feel more confident. It also lets me put more energy in the activities that will get me more return on investment and also the income producing activities such as inviting and following up. I don't want to spend 6 hours trying to craft an Instagram post when I need to be inviting. So if I put it's like meal prep. It's exactly what it is. It's meal prep for your social media. So you might spend 2 hours on a Sunday meal prepping for the week. You might spend 30 or 45 minutes social media prepping for the week. And then you have a plan and you feel more confident. So Connie, I hope that helps. And if anyone else does that as well or has other suggestions, put them in the comments. Don't let me just stand here and ramble. If you also do that and you find that it's helpful, then let us know. If you have never done it and you think, gosh, that sounds like it'd be enormously helpful, write that down too. So no, I'm not talking about weak and strong legs. You need to get coaches. That's your job. Your job is to get coaches. And then we'll talk about weak and strong legs when you get to diamond. Daisy Simpson, one of my Coach of Self uses. Don't you love that phrase that Trina gave to us? I love it. Yes, Melissa, I have Planoly too. I like that as well. I am a more paper pencil kind of person, so I do love Planoly a lot. I get their blog. I really like them. I just find that I do better if I write it down on a piece of paper. Everyone's system is different. You find the system that works for you and use it. That's all that matters. Daisy says, one of my Coach of Self uses Shakeology. Doesn't like we require a challenge pack purchase for our accountability groups. She says, I don't like pushing Shakeology, but she's getting amazing results and people are flocking to her. That piece is holding her back from building her business. Okay, here's my insight. If she's getting amazing results and people are flocking to her, but she doesn't want to share Shakeology, Daisy, tell her to send her people to you and you'll take care of it. And you will share Shakeology because you're watching her get results from Shakeology and you know that it works and she knows that it works. And she's got, again, a story that she's made up in her head, and she isn't understanding that this is life change that she's offering. She hasn't made that switch yet. So simply say, cool, send your people to me. Every coach runs their business a little bit differently. We have so many commonalities. Every coach runs their business differently. Make sure that you are connecting with your upline coach on their culture, your culture, their thought process. My thought process is, I am going to pour into my challenge groups. I'm going to give them as much energy and time and passion and knowledge that I have. I'm going to give them meal plans. We're going to talk about recipes. We're going to do fun challenges. We're going to have an awesome time, and I am going to help them get results. I also know that skin in the game means you're in the game. So if someone wants to be in my challenge group, they have to purchase a challenge pack. That's been my rule, for lack of a better word, for 100 years. 100 years, they have to purchase a challenge pack. That works for me. I find that when people have skin in the game, they're in the game. If they don't have skin in the game, they're not. They're less likely to be consistent. And I know what gets people results: fitness, nutrition, community. If we take one of those pieces out, their results won't be the same. And my job as a coach is to help them get results. So I cannot, in good conscience, say, yeah, you can come in and just do the fitness, but you don't have to tap into the nutrition or the community. I know they won't get results. I know I'm not doing my job. So entrance into my challenge groups requires a challenge pack. Or if they already have BOD, they have to get Shakeology or Performance Line on Home Direct. There has to be some Home Direct component for my challenge groups. You will find a way that works for you. Your upline coach will help you find that way as well. You will find the process that works for you. I know what my job is, and it's to help them get results. I know they need 3 pieces to get those results. I also know if they have skin in the game, they'll be in the game. I also know they're going to get all the knowledge and passion and energy that I have, and they need to invest in themselves and in me as well. And that investment becomes a 2-way street, and they're far more likely to stay committed and to get results. So that's my take on it. You will decide what works for you. Ashley, I see your question. What advice do you have for recruiting new coaches for us baby coaches who aren't earning a steady income but want to show the possibility that it is possible to learn? Ashley, you're on here. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to wait for you to answer. Ashley, do you know that there is income earning potential in this business? Yes or no? I'll wait while you answer. Okay, so Ashley, you already know more than I did when I became a coach. And yet I've managed to build a business for the past 11 years. So if you know there's income earning potential, do you have to be Where is the point in your business that you say and you decide that, okay, I've earned enough now, I can talk about it and I can invite people? Is that all we're inviting people for? We're inviting them because it's going to change our life. Income earning potential is part of it. But the bottom line is the income earning potential comes from their hard work anyway. So at what point in your business have you said, okay, I've earned enough money now, I can actually invite to the business? What is that point, Ashley? What is that point? Because right now, you're probably already earning more with a stay-at-home business than anyone you invite is. So what's not to share? You're talking about income earning potential. When I became a coach, there were 0 success stories with income. And yet I looked at the business and thought, okay, and I just posted about it today. Okay, I just want to make enough that I can buy my shoes. I want to buy my Nikes and my music. No one was telling me that I could buy my Nikes or my music. I just kind of looked around and thought, well, I'm going to make a little money here. Okay, that's what I'll do. And then I just started inviting. I didn't have to get to a certain point where all of a sudden, okay, now I can invite. Because what is that point? What is it? We're talking about income earning potential, which is dependent on them anyway. So what are we waiting on? What are you waiting on? You just answered your own question. You want to show them what's possible? So show them what is possible. Who is your coach? And who's their coach? And who's their coach? And who are other coaches in the network who maybe have paid for college? Me. Who maybe bought a second home? Christina. Who maybe own a gym? Trina. Who maybe whatever it is, I bet you can find a million success stories of a coach who's done something with the income. That's what you're sharing. Why does it have to be you? Do you share stories of weight loss that aren't you? Then what's the difference between that and income? How many of us share before and after pictures of people who have had amazing transformations from programs as we get ready to launch that program? That's not our transformation, yet we're sharing it because we're showing people what's possible. Why is that different with income? You're inviting them to the possibility. They have to do the hard work anyway. If you're waiting on a moment where all of a sudden you go, okay, I've made enough, that's like 3 years from now. And guess what? You can't make anything without coaches. So you're waiting to make enough, but you're not inviting in the meantime. And inviting is what actually enables you to make enough. There, stop. Okay. Also, Amanda, if you already think you're overthinking, you are. There's your answer. Dun, 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 dun. Carly, I have some coaches wanting to work the business, but I don't see them put that into work. How can I help them along? Go recruit others who want to. I'm not saying that's easy. I'm saying that's the answer I've heard, been told, and understand for the past 11 years. If you have coaches that aren't working, you don't have the right coaches. That doesn't mean the light bulb won't turn on for them. Of course it can. It has for all of us. It took me 8 months to get started. It took Trina a little while to get started. It took Christina a little while to get started. All we can do is continue to put opportunities in people's lives, encourage them, recognize them, and at some point hope the light bulb kicks on. But if it doesn't, you have to remember what my husband always says. Not everyone wants to be the quarterback. For some, they will come in out of the gate and go. They will see the potential and they will go. For others, we continue to put those possibilities and those opportunities in their laps, in their lives, and encourage them, and the light bulb will turn on a little bit later. For others, it doesn't matter how much we encourage them, it will never turn on. Go get new coaches. Go get new coaches. Go get new coaches. I'm telling you, as someone who's been told that for 11 years and understands it to be true, when I am the most frustrated with my business, it's because I don't have the right energy on it. It's up to me to go get new coaches. Okay, so that means, reverse that. That means I've got to make sure that my messaging that I'm putting out into the world is the right kind of messaging that will attract the coaches that I want. Does that make sense? Go find new coaches. You spend too much time with coaches I feel have potential. I know, you know what, Joanna? This is the benefit and the drawback of being a coach. Because if you are drawn to this business, it's highly likely it's because you see enormous potential in people. And that is a beautiful, wonderful thing. And wouldn't you rather live with that open heart and that open mind than not? I would. I mean, I think we all have to be willing to sort of get our hearts hurt a little bit by loving people and seeing potential in people maybe a little too much, because human beings are human beings, and they're going to let us down, just like we're going to let people down. We're going to do it. Other people are going to do it to us. But I would rather live with my heart open and believing in the potential of people than not. So there is a balance, because certainly you want the people that you're spending your time, this is a business, so certainly you want the people that you're spending your time with to be investing in you and in their business too. So you can find that balance. But if you feel like you're spending too much time with people who aren't as invested as you are, go find some others that do. And they may be even down in your downline. That's okay. You're looking for coaches who are ready to run and who are ready to work, and they will fire you up. It will fire you up, and you will have energy, and you'll love this business again. But if you are finding yourself working with coaches who aren't as invested as you are, and you're like, this is a drag, stop working with them. That's your sign. Stop working with them. But don't stop believing in the potential of humans. That's what makes this business so special. Believing in the potential and the possibility of every human that's out there, and that this business can be a catalyst for life change. Don't stop believing in that. Just find a better way to sort out your time so that you're spending more time with the ones who believe in it too. Okay, let me go. Nope, I'm not talking about placement. Placement, go get coaches. Place them on your right and on your left. Get to diamond. That is. Okay, I don't know how to say this. I see your name a lot, and I don't know if it's Jodina or Jodiana. I'm going with Jodina. I struggle with feeling sure enough to tell people about the coaching opportunity because I don't feel like I have it figured out well enough. Okay, and when will that be? Because I don't either, and I've been doing it 11 years. If you mean the policies and procedures and compensation plan, like that you don't know that well enough to talk about, cool, don't. I truly believe the potential is there. You just answered your question. If you believe that the potential is in this business, that's all you need to know. Lead with that. Talk about that. Tell that story. Why did you become a coach, Jodina? Why did you become a coach? Because you feel like there's potential in this business to do something with it. So talk about that, and talk about how you want to surround yourself with people who believe that too, who want something a little bit more for their life. Jodina, I'm assuming you want a little bit something more for your life. That's why you became a coach and didn't just stay a customer. You see the potential in this business. You know there's potential in you. Share that story. Share the story that you're looking for other women or men who feel that too. Share that story. Why do women think they have to know it all to talk about anything? So my question right back to you is, did you know it all before you had a child? I'm guessing no, because you and I both know there's no way to know that. So when Jessie, okay, no, I have to go with Jenna because she's my oldest. When Jenna has her birthday later this year and she turns 23 or 24, I can't remember, 23 or 24, when she turns that age, I will never have parented that age of a child before. So should I just say, yeah, I'm done with this parenting thing because I actually have never parented a 23-year-old, so I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to parent? No, I'm just going to figure it out as I go along, right? And I'm going to educate myself and surround myself with other people who may have parented this age of a child before and can give me some advice. I don't need to know it all. I never will. Now, by the time it gets to Jessie and she turns that age, I'll have a little bit of something to tap into, but you'll never know everything about this business. All you're looking for are people who also believe in the potential like you do. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're sharing. That's your story. Something about this business drew you to it, the potential and the possibility of it. That's what you're talking about. Period. That's what you're talking about. And as you attract those people and as your business grows, your story will change and it will grow and evolve. 11 years ago, I was not talking about sending my children to college, but that's part of my story now. But it wasn't my story then, but it certainly didn't stop me from starting to build a business. Your story will change and evolve. So Lacey, it's so interesting because Carl talked about this at our Super Saturday, the stigma on MLM. It's funny because I've never really run into that. I don't know, just that I don't care, or that I just always saw the potential in the business and never thought about it as a bad situation. I'm also scrolling through some of your other questions. I've never really run into that. And I think part of it, and I'm not saying it's all of it, part of it is a story that maybe we've heard at some point in our lives, and we assume other people have heard too. So when I was growing up, my parents did Amway. They did it like when I was in high school and college. They weren't like high up in the business or anything, but they really enjoyed it. And you know what's interesting? Do you know what they enjoyed the most about it? The community. They really enjoyed the community. They took trips with their community. They had meetings with their community. They really enjoyed their community. And I grew up sort of using Amway products and whatever. And when they stopped sort of selling Amway, they just sort of stopped selling Amway. It's no big deal, whatever. Their upline coaches were extremely successful. And so I grew up with this sort of Amway experience in my life that was just kind of cool. I just watched my parents really enjoy the community. So that's the story that I had in my life when I came into Beachbody. It's nothing but positive. So that's probably why this topic never really connected with me. But for other people, maybe they had not so great experiences with another network marketing company that's not as upstanding and mission driven as Beachbody. And so they have that story when they come in. But the question that Carl has always said for 11 years, as I've listened to him talk about this, is to ask the people who might be saying something about MLMs, to ask them like, can you explain to me what you mean by pyramid scheme? Can you explain to me what you mean by that? And see if you can ferret out information from them, what they mean by it or where their negativity comes from. And some people, and this, Carl again, just spoke about this at Super Saturday, so it's a great fresh question. Some people just don't know. So you know how humans are. We're all kind of weird and we just make assumptions about stuff we don't know. And so some humans just don't know. And so they've made assumptions based on other stuff that they've heard other people say. And they're very willing to go, oh yeah, that sounds really cool. Wow, you help people, you connect people with these solutions that work and they get results. That's really cool. And actually when they become coaches, you don't really make any money off of them because they get a discount. Oh, all right. Wow, cool. And they're open to it. Other people are just negative in general and maybe haven't taken steps to change their own life. So they're a little bit jealous of other people who are taking steps to change their life. For whatever reasons, there's some negativity there. And as Carl Deichler said at Super Saturday, it's just walk away from those people. It's not worth having the conversation because they're not open to just dialogue and conversation about it. So, okay, cool. Not everyone can be the quarterback. Cool. So there will be some people that when you ask them the question, what do you mean by network marketing or MLM? And they can't really explain it because they don't really know. Cool opportunity to educate. There will be other people who'll be like, cool opportunity to walk away. Cool opportunity to know that that's probably not someone you want in your tribe anyway. Awesome. Now you know. And even after you educate the people who are open to it, maybe they join, maybe they don't. Cool. Doesn't matter. You've been given an opportunity to educate, to talk about it. Maybe that you've changed their mind a little bit, whether they become a customer or not in your control, not in your control. But you have to remember that other people have stories in their heads, just like you do. They're telling them those stories. You can't control those stories. All you can do is ask questions. I heard one time that the person who asks the most questions wins. So keep asking questions. Stop putting up a wall or a battle about this situation. Just start asking questions. Just ask questions. Why do you feel that way? Have you had a bad experience with it? What have you heard? Were you in a network marketing company? Just ask them questions. Stop getting so defensive about it and look at it as an opportunity to ask questions and learn. And maybe they were part of a really wonky, seedy MLM and you go, well, yeah, I can understand why you might think that. I would too if I had been in that one. I'm really grateful that Beachbody is so not like that, So ask questions. The person who asks the most questions wins. Okay, I am almost out of time. So Corey, I'm going to end with yours. How do you balance calling someone out on their excuses with not pushing them away from you? I have so many ladies who say, I will join you when XYZ happens. I know there is never a perfect time and life will never slow down. How do you say that in a way that is empathetic to their feelings, yet calling out their excuses? Well, I don't think it's your job to call out someone's excuses. I don't think it's our job necessarily to do that unless they've given you permission to do that. But I do think you personally, but I do think you can do that in your messaging. I do think that you can show in your messaging on your social media, hey, I did this on Saturday. Sort of unintentionally, but it was the truth. It was a super busy day on Saturday. I didn't get my workout in until I started it at 12:30. That's really unusual for me to do a workout at 12:30 on a Saturday. It's usually morning or not, but it had to be at 12:30 because other things had to happen in the morning and it had to be at 12:30. And so I just on my Instagram story said, 12:30 is not my most optimal time, but not working out is really not an option. So I'm going to make it happen at 12:30. So I think that your messaging can also address that without actually being personal towards them. So start thinking about your messaging as a way to address those objections without it being personally at them. So say it on your Facebook. There's never going to be a great time to get fit, but I'm going to make time because life's too short. Say it on your Instagram stories. Yeah, you might think you have to wait till you know it all to be a Beachbody coach, and I'm here to tell you that you don't, and here's why. And yeah, you might think that it's hard to get in a workout every day, but you know what? I'm going to get mine in 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go feed my baby and da-da-da. And so you're addressing those objections on your social media without it being personal. And when that becomes your consistent message, it's easier to say to someone, you know how I feel about this, that there's really no perfect time. The stars will not align and the heavens will not rain down motivation like our time is now. You can say, you know how I feel about this. You've probably seen me talk about this, and you can say that because that's your messaging. So make it your job on your messaging to address some of these objections so that when they're reading it, when they're seeing it, when they're coming back to you, you can say, well, I'm with you on that. Life is busy and it can be challenging, but man, I know that I'm worth it. And you know how I feel about that. And you can say that with authenticity because you've been sharing it. So that helps address some of those objections right out of the gate. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up because I don't want you to spend all day on a Facebook Live. I want you to go inviting because remember, what are your key activities right now? Engaging in a program, following the calendar, and sharing that journey. Drinking Shakeology every day and sharing that journey. Personal development and using that to help fuel your invites and follow-ups every single day and sharing all of that via your social media. Share with people, what your workout is and give them a few moves and how you feel afterwards. Share with people what your Shakeology recipe is and that you're making daily sunshine for your kids and how it happens, on a consistent basis. Share with people what you're reading and what you're listening to. Maybe someone out there is looking for personal development as well. And invite like a boss because that is your job. And also fill in the gaps of your daily life on your social media that aren't just the Beachbody pieces, so people truly understand that this whole business, everything about it, doesn't add one more thing on your to-do list. It actually enhances your life. It doesn't make your life busier, it enhances your life, and it does fit into your life, and it makes your life better. Doesn't make it busier, it makes it better. And when you show people how it fits into your life, which undoubtedly is busy because all humans are busy, when you show people how it fits into your life and that it doesn't make your life busier, that it makes it better, you start to help them understand, oh yes, maybe this could work for me too. And that's what we want. We want them looking at your social media, looking at you and saying, you know what? I could work out in my basement and drink a shake and be really cool to read a book and have a community to engage with. That's what we want. And when they start to see that and they start to think that, that's that little seed. And then it's up to us to uncover that potential and that possibility. Your job, get to Diamond, get coaches. That's your job. We don't have to worry about placement or strategy or any of that stuff right now. We have to worry about sharing this incredible opportunity, this gift that we've been given, this unbelievable blessing that has changed our lives. All we have to do is share that. It's not up to us to decide if they say yes or not. We share. Let them, decide their story. You be the author of your story and let your story be one of sharing. Let your story be one of sharing. Cool? All right. If you have any other questions, drop them underneath this video. I hope I answered some questions for you today. Remember, we do have the Decide to Rise Emerald call tomorrow and the Invite to the Team call on Thursday night. We are giving you all kinds of opportunities to get to Diamond. You got to do the work. Do the work today because you are smart, you are creative, you are capable, you're the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. Go rock it out. Talk to you guys later.